The Warriors only have one pick in the 2025 NBA draft at number 41 overall, which means that they do not have a first-round pick after sending that to the Miami Heat in the acquisition for Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline this past February. So barring a very surprising trade, do not expect to hear the Warriors with their name called during the first round. So, number 41 overall, what can we expect the Warriors to do? Well, number one, they have an interesting history there. Not too long ago, we remember a guy by the name of Eric Pascal. We saw all of a sudden Eric Pascal, second-round draft pick, coming in, putting up 30, putting up 20, averaging over 16 a game, having a big-time rookie year. But those stats were pretty doggone empty. When you think about no Steph Curry out there, Kevin Durant had already left, Klay Thompson was injured because of the 2019 NBA Finals. Draymond Green was hoping he could just nap through the season and move on to the next one once he had his guys back. And then Eric Pascal comes back with those guys like Steph Curry back on the floor. Pretty hard to adjust. So would the Warriors like to have a first-team all-rookie player? Of course. But they want to make sure that this is someone who can contribute to winning. Someone who can contribute and impact an older core right now with Steph Curry, with Jimmy Butler, with Draymond Green. So what I mean by that is this is not going to be a project. This is not going to be a teenager. We're not looking at the next Jonathan Kuminga or even Moses Moody throughout the pre-draft process. The Warriors, they weren't bringing in 18 and 19-year-olds, not even 20-year-olds. I'm talking 22, 23, 24-year-olds. And if it's a 21-year-old, I'm going to assume that he's turning 22 pretty quickly. This is a player who's going to have college experience. The last two drafts with Mike Dunleavy at GM, he had really impactful second-round picks. First at number 57 overall with Trace Jackson Davis, 4 years in college. Then at number 52 overall with Quentin Post, 5 years in college. I expect that same kind of trend. A college player who has a lot of experience, someone who they think can be in the rotation maybe even sooner than TJD or Quentin Post even was. So who are those players for the Warriors? I'm going to give you my 5 best fits, and I have to start off with pretty much who has been my draft crush for the Warriors entering this process, which we're finally at, and that's a man by the name of Seion James, who spent 1 year, his 5th year, his graduate year at Duke, of course, Mike Dunleavy's alma mater. And this, to me, this is an NBA body. Actually, you know what? No, this is an NFL body. He looks like someone who was playing Pop Warner, and everyone's going, where's the birth certificate? And finally was just handed a basketball and goes, oh, I can do this. Yes, this is my ticket. I mean, the defense he can play, the physicality going downhill, and he's only improved as a three-point shooter every single year, especially catch and shoot. The last 2 seasons, if those numbers from catch and shoot, this last year at Duke, he was around a 45% shooter, catch and shoot, three-pointers. He's going to knock down that corner three when you leave him open. But the comp, I'm going right to the champion team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, with Lou Dort. They're measurables. They're almost exactly the same. Seion James came into the NBA draft combine just under 6'5" and about 218 pounds, looking like someone who is just in the gym, curling, getting ready for summer beach bod, but can make a real impact on the hardwood, I believe, for the Warriors. That's my number 1 guy, is Seion James. If he's available at 41 overall, I can just see him going out there and causing chaos for the other team when it comes to his defense and finding ways as an improved offensive player overall. So actually, you know what? Now let's go to the offensive side for my number 2 guy. That is Brea. I am a staunch believer that the Warriors need They need shooters. They need bucket getters this offseason, whether that is through the draft, whether that's through a trade, whether that's through free agency. Is Kobe Brea the best athlete? No. Is he the greatest defensive player? No. But my God, can that man shoot the ball? We are talking about someone at 6'7", not a 6'1" guy, not a 6'2" guy, at 6'7", who can absolutely light it up from long distance. His second year, another 5-year guy, his second year in college, he shot about 42.5% from three-point range. Guys, that was his third best shooting season in college from long distance. From downtown, his final season at Dayton, right before having a 5th year at Kentucky, he nearly shot 50% from three-point range. He shot 43.5% overall over his 5-year career, but his last 2 years, 46.5%, while attempting nearly 6 threes per game. This is your guy if you're looking for a knockdown shooter, Kobe Brea. And my final thing that I really like about him, before going to even better competition at Kentucky, is the fact that he was a 2-time Conference Sixth Man of the Year when he was at Dayton. This shows me he knows his role. He's able to come off the bench and bring you those points, give you that spark right away, and not trying to play outside of himself anymore. So that's why I really like Kobe Brea. And now as I move on to my number 3 guy, it's kind of someone who does a little bit of everything. Micah Peavey from Georgetown, which was his 3rd different school in college. Yeah, this is modern college we're talking about right now, right? Whatever we want to talk about, the NIL landscape. Micah Peavey, he went to 3 different colleges, ended up at Georgetown for his 5th and final season. And the thing with him, I just feel like he just fits a long line of second-round picks who had solid, impactful NBA careers. That's Micah Peavey to me. A 6'7", 215-pound wing. Just look at what he did the first scrimmage at the NBA Draft Combine. His team, they lost by 3. Micah Peavey was a plus 20 in that game. Just does a little bit of everything. The question with him, though, was he a one year, one-hit wonder when it comes to his three-point shot? His first 4 years in college combined, he was a 26.7% three-point shooter, and then all of a sudden, he figures it out. Year 5 at Georgetown, averages over 17 points per game, shoots 40% from three-point range. So teams are going to have to trust the shot when it comes to Micah Peavey, but as far as the impactful overall game, they can definitely trust that. My 4th guy is someone, when it comes back to shooting the ball, you expect him to be a bucket getter. This is Chaz Laneir, who had a big-time season for the Tennessee Volunteers. He, again, another transfer guy. And if you look at his first 3 years at North Florida, we're not even going to be talking about someone on draft board. 4.2 points per game his first 3 years. All of a sudden, year 4, this guy finally gets the keys to be an everyday starter, go out there, be the man for the team, completely breaks out, and everything he did that year 4 at North Florida, that transferred over to Tennessee in the SEC when he averaged 18 points per game for a team that went to the Elite Eight, shot 39.5% from three-point range. There are some defensive questions, some red flags when it comes to Chaz Laneir, and another guy where you go, okay, can he go from being the man, being the guy, to understanding how to play a role for a team when it might not, on most nights actually, it's not going to be your night. That's the question with a lot of these guys, though, coming in from college. And at number 41 overall, I don't want to so much have my focus on what someone isn't. I want to be more focused on what someone is. So when it comes to defense, yeah, there's some questions there, but also he rarely came off the floor for what was one of the top defenses in all of college basketball. And then at the combine, yeah, he's 6'4", but he has a long wingspan, a 6'8", 6'9" wingspan, and his athletic measurables, a 39-inch max vertical. That shows me he has what it takes to possibly be a really strong defensive player. That's the final guy for me, though. Fifth and final player I'm going to tell you about is Elijah Martin. This is the pit bull that Jerry Stackhouse would be begging Steve Kerr, like, can we please just unleash this guy? We got to unleash him. He's going to just frustrate the other team so much. I understand everyone wants size, so they're going, Dalton, why don't you have a center? This is the small Warriors we're talking about. We're sick of the 6'1", 6'2" guards. Elijah Martin, he's 6'2". Stick with me. If we're talking about a big man, I was going between Amari Williams from Kentucky, a real big, a 7-footer, 265, a big man down there who I think would actually fit Steve Kerr's system because it's a really strong passer out of the middle, a really good playmaker from the center position, which you need for the Warriors. But let me tell you why Elijah Martin. So he's 2-time All-Conference at Florida Atlantic, at FAU. And another guy who goes, I want something bigger. I need a little harder competition. So I'm going to go to Florida, where he goes and wins a championship as an absolute athletic freak. I mean, this guy can get after it. What I see him as, possibly long-term for the Warriors, I'm talking about the GP2 role. 6'2", but he has a 6'8" wingspan. He's going to get right in you. He's going to get under you defensively. He's going to hound you, and he might offer even bigger offensive upside. He averaged 14.5 points per game for Florida in his fifth and final season in college. He's about a 36.5, might be even 35% three-point shooter, so that's not his number one trait, which I do think that the Warriors need. But if you're looking for a point-of-attack defense to hound somebody, Elijah Martin is your guy.